So what type of epithelium are we seeing here? Respiratory epithelium. The goblet cells are very prominent. These spaces here are occupied by goblet cells. One of the easiest things you can get in the exam is a bronchus. Okay? And many times we do, we're very kind people in the department, many times we keep that in mind, and there we could set, that's a nice question. Roy, that's quite nice right here, because we see in the land of the lung, this is all lung land, because what? We are full heap of what? Alveoli. Then we see right beside it, in this land of the lung, we see a tube, and we see that tube having what? Cartilage in its wall, lined by respiratory epithelium and glandular tissue. So this is a large intrapulmonary bronchus. Okay? So that's the first thing that comes to us. Okay? We're not taking any program look, we're just seeing what we come across. Okay? And this is another large vessel. These are some nerves. These are some autonomic nerves right here. These are some pulmonary nerves that are coming off of the vagus, that are going into the lung right here. Alright? So a lot of nerves going right into the hilum of the lung. This is another large alveolar sac. Another large alveolar sac with the alveoli. Okay? Well, let me see if I can get on the outside. Okay, so that is the visceral pleura. So right there, that lining on the outside, right here, that lining that's right here, that lining that's right there, that's the visceral pleura. Okay? So the visceral pleura is covering the outer surface of the lung. Okay? Now I'm seeing a fellow here. This is a lot of lymphoid tissue. So maybe there's some sort of infection going on right here. What we notice is we see this structure lined by respiratory epithelium. We see some glands, but what are we not seeing? We see no cartilage. So this is one of the large, this is an exceptional large bronchiole. Okay? So this is basically at the very beginning, not the terminal end of the bronch. This is a bronchiole. This is where the bronchus has just gone into now the bronchiole. This is a rare thing to see. Such a large bronchiole. And still you can see that the glands have persisted. Alright? So you get some glandular tissue persisting. But what you see here is a lot of lymphoid tissue, signifying maybe there was some type of infection maybe. Okay? No, very good. If we're to trace this epithelium, this bronchiole, see the smooth muscle there in the bronchiole? This is now going to be a terminal bronchiole right here. This is going to lead into a terminal bronchiole right about here. Very good. That's the terminal bronchiole, going right into a respiratory bronchiole right above this level right here. See how low the epithelium is becoming? Alright, we're just relaxing for a while. So this is all in the land of the lung. What's the predominant feature in this lung? This is another intrapulmonary bronchus. Okay? This is a neater one. This is a smaller one. Okay? This is a lovely thing here. Right? So this is the sort of thing that we'll encounter in the exam. Okay? So that's a very, very nice intrapulmonary bronchus. Okay. Now, looking at different, so why you have to have these slides with you is that you have to look at different lungs. So, you students should be doing your drawings, I hope you're doing your drawings. We're going to return your lab books very shortly, but you must still be doing your drawings and trying to draw, because you see, you need to draw for yourself and need to have a visual construct, a construct in your mind of how to determine, and you should be able to draw very simple diagram of a bronchus, a bronchiole, a terminal bronchiole, a respiratory bronchiole. And you will carry this mental picture, something that you drew and you tried to draw, into the exam. And furthermore, you guys need to sort of pull up your socks, and you have to be bringing all your slides to the lab. And then you're going to look at many different slides of the lung, not only yours, but you look at a whole row of different slides of the lung, because the different ones. Now, what we're seeing right here, this is a respiratory bronchiole. Crystal clear, low cuboidal epithelium, beautiful exam slide, 300 marks. There it is, and they're budding off at the side right here. That's an alveolus. Okay? So this is a very good example. So there you see the tubular structure, low cuboidal cells, and what do we see coming off at the side here? Little outpouchings, and those little outpouchings are the alveoli. Give a chance. It's the first time you're looking in here. Okay? Notice that the epithelium is in this portion here. There are no glands right here. So let's look and see if we see any. Let's look for goblet cells. Let's look for goblet cells. Let's examine carefully. Alright. So there will be still some. Okay, you see the transition here right at this point to low cuboidal. Look at that. Low cuboidal, but still no, there's some goblet cells. See a goblet cell right here? Very good. So we're going now from a bronchiole, and this is still in the level of a bronchiole here. Okay? Then this portion here will be more terminal. Then going now into the respiratory. And there is an alveolus falling off the side. Now, let me look at another slide. I took this slide and I said it has good respiratory bronchioles. Alright, let me look at it. So you have to look at a number of different lung slides. You want to really get hot for that exam coming up on the respiratory system. You can't just look at the lung slide in your box. In the histology lab, you have to have about 20 different lung slides, and you're examining each one. Alright. And we want to do well in the exam. Is that so, Cindy? Very good. So there we see another slide of the lung. Okay? So these different pictures that we're looking at right here, this is another slide of the lung right here. Okay, there's a tube. We don't know what it is yet. I don't see any cartilage, or not that I can view at this. Oh, I don't see any cartilage. So I would think that maybe I see some goblet cells here and there. Let's go down and look at it. Alright, so let's look at this tube here. Okay. Yes, there are goblet cells here. This is what? Pseudostratified columnar, ciliated, and there is also some quite well developed smooth muscle. What we're not really seeing is what? Many glands. But they are definitely here goblet cells. 100% sure we are seeing what? Goblet cells. So Sean, what would you want to identify this as? Ciliated with goblet cells. What do you say? What do you say this fellow is? Don't I give Sean too much of a hard time? Let me ask somebody else. Cindy. What's the problem? Is there a problem? Cindy, what do you say? What do you think this is, Cindy? Suppose they put the pointer there. Remember, the student microscope now will capture this. Look, the student microscope will capture from the lower part of the screen right up to this point. This can't do it. But I promise you, the student microscope in the exam will capture right from the top of here. Look, you'll see here going right down to there. So immediately you'll know, just looking at this, that you're in the land of the lung. Because those are all alveoli. Alright? When you look at all these cells and all that, but we're just going a step at a time. Ciliated. So, Cindy, what do you think this is there? Going into the exam.